Yes, we're back. I wanted to just react to this video because it was kind of interesting, kind of not. It's more interesting because I disagree with some things. Most as of right now, at least most Diablo 4 players, I agree with their opinions. So it's nice to see something different, but let's get right into it.
Hook, line, and sinker. Set that damn hook, baby.
I know people even more countryer than this guy, so I don't buy that hook, line, and sinker bit at all. I think it's a facade. I'm just kidding. I don't know the guy.
All right, look, I know the community's on fire right now, and regardless of what side of the fence you're on, let's talk about.
All right, I can tell he fishes. I'll say that much.
The base reason why we have this kind of patch implemented this early in the game.
And I just want to say, I'll say something before we get right into it. Me personally, I don't mind the patch, but that is because my goals are just vastly different than most people's. I am willing to agree on that the patch is very anti-fun. There's changes that just don't really make sense from a player wanting to have fun perspective. If fun is the objective, which obviously is not, but I think it should be, I think there's some changes just systematically make the game less fun. But again, I don't have a problem with the patch. I was going to play regardless because I had a goal to get Necromancer level 100 regardless. And from that point forward, I was going to just gauge if I play anymore. If I don't, it doesn't matter because I got a lot of time out of the game. And I don't mind coming back to something. So let's just get right into it. But it is really important that, we don't live for 4 months down the road, 3 months down the road. We live in the present tense of things. In reality, some people won't even be alive to play the new Diablo 4 patch or the new season 2 thing or whatever have you. That's why I just don't advocate bad changes to justify future changes. It just doesn't make sense. Who cares if the game is a little easy and there's a lot of people blasting high? Like, I don't understand. Like, just make the game fun. I don't give a fuck about all the microtransactions, player retention, all that. That's fine. Your business, you want to make money. That's cool. But I feel like you can also do that and make the game fun. That's it.
We're not going to talk about what the feelings are or anything. We're going to talk about the real reason why we've got this patch. So a couple things I want to knock out right now so that I don't see this in the comments, because a lot of y'all have a bad habit of immediately running to the comments before watching the whole video. You shouldn't do that. You should at least watch the video before you comment.
Okay.
First of all, patches are necessary. Balancing is necessary. I understand this. I'm not here to attack why we have a patch, why we have balance patches, why we have balancing this, that, the other, whatever. It is necessary to the core of a game to keep the game balanced. I understand that. I acknowledge that. I accept that. Move on.
Yep.
Number two, I understand a lot of y'all are still having fun with the game. That is fantastic, y'all. You should be having fun with the game.
I am having fun with the game. Yep.
If you're not having fun with the game, I sympathize with you also. Okay? We're not here to divide people any further with that. Okay? Number three, a lot of y'all are going to accept mediocrity. Totally fine. We're not going to do it here on this channel. We're not going to accept mediocrity and wait 10 years for another thing. Okay? We're not going to do that here. So now that that's out of the way, let's dive down into why actually this was released. So the first thing
So that implies if you are not criticizing the game, you are accepting mediocrity. I just disagree wholeheartedly. I truly believe if you do not like something, you simply stop playing. That will speak way louder than arguing. Criticism is obviously valid and is very important. But I don't fall into the boat of if you don't criticize it, you are accepting mediocrity. No, you will simply play something that you deem is worth more of your time. That's it. That's it. Because in my honest opinion, they're gonna do what they want to do at the end of the day. This patch obviously shows that they are going to do changes that literally no one wanted. I'm not gonna say literally no one wanted. They're gonna do changes that people can generally agree aren't good for the game in the present tense, regardless of what people on the forums say. I think quitting it will just always speak louder than just making Reddit posts.
We need to remember,
or yeah, I think just making posts on forums.
This is a publicly traded corporation, conglomerate, massive business, whatever you want to call it. Okay.
Yeah.
This is not Blizzard North. As much as we want it to be Blizzard North, a company that made badass games, badass itemizations, badass storyline, and cared about the player base, this ain't it. Those days are long gone. That ship has done sailed. It is 2023. I'm guilty of it myself. I always think we're playing Blizzard North games. We ain't. Okay, let's get that out of the way. The reason that we have a patch for seasons, okay, let's back up a little bit. The reason that we have seasons, in the beginning, it was so we could have fun. We could have new content and engage and do new stuff, whatever. Be competitive, have a leaderboard, have bragging rights. None of that exists today. We have no leaderboard. We have no rewards besides cosmetics. We have no nothing. Okay?
Very true.
The reason that we have seasons in the modern day today is quarterly seasons. That's very important. Is to show the shareholders positive player retention, positive player numbers. Now, implement a battle pass on top of that. Now you report positive player numbers and positive income.
And again, I have literally no problem with this, but you do not have to go out of your way to make the game less fun to accomplish this. If people were doing too much damage, fine, dial the skills back some. Don't knock the cooldown, like don't nerf a fun affix to have. Cooldown reduction means you're basically doing stuff way more often than you're not. When I was playing Druid, I didn't even think to get cooldown reduction because I was like, I mean, I have a channeling skill and I had lightning and bloodhowl and whatever the earth bulwark. In my mind, I have a channeling skill. I have something that builds. I have my auto attack that builds my resource. Channeling skill. I don't care about hurricane, and an alt. I didn't care about cooldown, but when I got it, I realized, oh snap! Having cooldown on storm skills and flat cooldown makes my alt up way more. So maybe I should get cooldown. It was more fun to just use my alt way more. Since again, channeling skill doesn't do anything with cooldown, on auto attack doesn't do anything with cooldown. Hurricane is just so you take less damage. It doesn't really do much. Still doesn't do much. And it's like, that's a no-brainer. Doing more is more fun. You're playing a game with a controller. What's fun about playing games? Pressing buttons, doing stuff. It's fun. Mobility is fun. That's why Rogue is so fun. You're dashing, you're constantly pressing buttons, you're doing stuff. It's fun. You can have player retention, all these cool stuff, and still have a fun game. I just that one change is just like so stupid to me, bro.
You sold this battle pass to everybody, okay? Every single quarter. I know I talk about this a lot, but this is the reason why we have what we have. Guys, these devs ain't incompetent. I was thinking that yesterday, and I snapped out of it. I said, there's no way they're this incompetent.
Exactly.
Are they?
Especially if they claim to play the game. If you play the game and they implement these changes, what? I want to know their feelings. How do they feel when they play the game, right? If you play the game, if you swear up and down that you actually play this game, what do these changes accomplish?
Maybe not as creative, maybe. Are they maybe not as skilled? Maybe,
nope.
But they're not incompetent. These are semi-intelligent, pretty intelligent folks. They are shackled and limited by what upper management allows them to do. I firmly believe that if they had their way, we'd have a fun game. But they're limited by Captain Malignant Tunnel and his bosses, okay, into making a cash grab monetization game. So you saw what they did with Diablo Immortal, and that didn't fly. So now Seasons in this modern state, and don't come in the comments and say, well, Hank, Seasons have been around in Diablo for 20 years. I get that. I already addressed that. I'm talking about today, Diablo 4. I'm not talking about Diablo 3, Diablo 2, Diablo 2 Resurrected, Diablo 1, Diablo Immortal. I'm talking about Diablo 4. The reason that Seasons are put in, the reason that this patch is like this is now, is all tied together. This patch is to kill the Eternal Realm. Don't get it mistaken. Shaco Gate was an attempt to kill the Eternal Realm. They could have easily taken back 142 Shakos with no problem. You would have had 142 angry people versus thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of angry people. Okay? So
is he implying that because they hotfixed it so fast, they made more people upset? Rather than just removing the Shakos, they would have just made the people who got it upset. That's interesting. I didn't really think about it like that. I mean, even if I got a Shako, it wouldn't change anything. It wouldn't magically allow me to push Nightmare Dungeons 20 plus to what I was doing. I don't think so. That's my personal opinion on it, but I didn't really draw the correlations that he's drawing from that. I was just like, whatever.
So they wanted to kill the Eternal Realm. How doesn't make sense? Why would they want to kill the Eternal Realm? Why? Can't sell the Battle Pass in the Eternal Realm. And I know a simple solution would be let the Battle Pass be available, but then they couldn't rotate different skins in for you to buy. There wouldn't be something new for your fear of missing out to trigger for you to go spend your green leafy spending money on. You understand?
And again, okay, that is fine. My main game at one point was League of Legends. League of Legends is literally the same game over and over and over and over. You have two teams, 5v5. That was back when there was like 20, 30 champions. That is fine. But League changed because they added champions, so that kind of more or less changed the matches as time went on. This game can do that. ARPGs can do that. If you just change how skills function, which I don't think is asking for too much, add different markers of skills, add different means to check DPS, which I don't think that's asking for too much. That's basically just a boss. I'm totally okay with them, not okay with them killing Eternal Realm, obviously, because that's not, I don't care. But as far as seasons go and rotating cosmetics to do Halloween and Christmas stuff, fine, cool. Long as the game is fun, I think that's what should matter. I personally won't buy it because I don't care about stuff like that. I don't care about... It is nice to have a cool looking character, but I'm not gonna pay for cos. I did that in Path of Exile. I was just like, no one really cares. You're blasting stuff so fast with music playing. You don't really look at your character that often anyways. But I'm okay with cosmetics and rotating. I'm okay with that. But the game has to be fun to justify that. I think that's what should matter. If you could make the Eternal Realm still fun at level 100, it wouldn't matter. You wouldn't have a problem. But because that's hard to do, I think that is the major problem.
Every 3 months, there will be a new battle pass and a new season with the guise of introducing new concepts, new things, which in reality, y'all, the Malignant Tunnels is a re-skinned dungeon. There's nothing special there.
I agree. And I've said this so much. There is no innovation rarely in games anymore. I do not like it. And there's nothing wrong with not having innovation, but to just do old stuff and bring back old stuff that you've already done with no changes at all, with no quality of life changes, with no fun changes is ridiculous to me.
The gems were taken straight out of Diablo Immortal, which was taken straight out of Path of Exile, which a lot of y'all said, which came straight out of World of Warcraft. There's nothing new, nothing innovative there. Have you seen the uniques? The Spear of Lycander came straight out of D3. It's literally the exact same item. Same everything. The Oculus? You seen an Oculus from Diablo 2? If you never played Diablo 2, go to Google and search the Oculus Diablo 2. You'll see what a real item looks like, right? It's not the reason that we go do this. This Mickey Mouse stuff that we're looking forward to, the malignant hearts, like my malignant tunnel. They want you to go spend your money on the battle pass. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills sometimes. Y'all don't see this.
The malignant hearts.
And then they know the patch is so bad that they have to schedule an emergency live stream. It's not a campfire chat. They're not outside. They're not camping. It's nerds in the office. It's a live stream. They schedule this to try to put out the fire, but after the season. Well, do you want to know why that's after the launch of the season? This is what they're going to look at on Thursday. Okay, there's two paths that we're going to take. Everything's on fire or everything's cool. If everybody logs on to the season and plays, even though they don't like any of the balance patches or anything they're seeing, which everyone's going to do because nobody has a backbone to stand up for themselves anymore. They're just going to play anyway. I'm already seeing the comments. Oh, yeah, you guys say you're not playing seasons, but we'll all see you there. That's what's the problem with the world today. Nobody has any backbone. Everybody's spineless. If you are pissed off about this product and what they're selling you, give it the Diablo Immortal treatment. Don't play it. You're not going to waste your damn Battle Pass token if you've already done the Ultimate Edition. Save it. Oh, yeah, not to mention, with the addition of this, they are limiting you. So if you wonder why...
I just want to say, you can be not satisfied with the changes, but first of all, no patch notes and no game should make you pissed. You simply quit, right? We play games, bro. This is agreement. We are playing games to have fun, so we don't have to think about the stuff in our life that just bring us down. Okay? If I'm not spineless because I still want to play a game I enjoy. I recognize the patch is terrible, but I still want to experience these things for myself. I want to experience these changes for myself. I don't want a content creator or a streamer or some forum threads to tell me how to feel about the changes. I want to experience them first off for myself, okay? But I do recognize that obviously it was received negatively. So that does kind of tell me something. Okay, maybe this patch is hotter shit than I was willing to label it. Because again, I had some friends that were like, yeah, this patch kind of killed my build. And I'm like, well, there's going to be other builds, so what's the big deal? And that's honestly how I feel. The fact that, post nerfs, right? Builds are still killing Uber Lilith just a little bit slower. Goes to show that I don't even know what the point of the nerfs were. If streamers and 1%ers can still do 1% of the same hard content, it's probably significantly harder to push Nightmare Dungeons now, but there was no incentive to do that anyways. So what's wrong with allowing people to push Nightmare Dungeon 100 with unique and fun builds? I feel like there's nothing wrong with that. What's wrong with letting people attempt Uber Lilith with unique and fun builds? I feel like there should be nothing wrong with that. What is the problem there? Uber Lilith is a very hard fight. If you want player retention, people are going to spend so much time on that fight. It sucks because of the gold sink, because eventually you're paying like so much money for repairs, so eventually you do have to farm again, which is okay, it's fine, whatever, it's the in-game content anyways. whatever, man.
Cooldowns been nerfed. Damage reduction's been nerfed. Time in dungeons has been nerfed. Oh, newsflash, why there's a cap on World Tier 3 and World Tier 4 capstones? They want you to stay in the game as long as possible and not complete the season journey too fast.
They did revert that.
Because guess what? Then you're going to go play Baldur's Gate. Then you're going to go play Starfield. Then you're going to go play something else. So they had to literally wipe everything. If they did not release a patch like this, and they let you keep your Eternal character that you've been farming for 200x hours or whatever amount of time, that you've got Tempest Roar, that you've got all this other stuff, they're not going to let you keep that because you'll get bored. You won't play it, especially after the nerf. They know that if they nerf everything, that you're more likely to go, well, I got to start all over anyway. I might as well start over on a new tune and go play seasons. Hook, line, and sinker. Set that damn hook, baby. Regardless of what your stance is on the patch. Doesn't matter. Please, take a look at yourself and ask this question. Is it okay to accept mediocrity for green leafy spending money? That for some it's easy to come by money, but for others it's not easy to come by money. It takes a lot of hard work.
I mean, I already bought the game. The patch does not make me hate the game. I don't like some of the changes in the patch, but I feel like I should still be able to play the game until I personally am not satisfied. It was my money. I earned it my way. I spent it how I wanted to spend it. I spent my time how I want to spend it. I feel like I work a job, go to the gym, play the games I want to, and I don't go out of my way to make anyone else's life harder than it has to be. I should be able to play whatever the fuck I want to, regardless of any patch, without being considered spineless and not having integrity and accepting mediocrity. I feel like that's just unrealistic and unfair. I already bought the game. I'm just saying, I already have the game, and there's still things that I want to do personally. Again, I don't agree with the changes. I think the changes were pretty miss. Like, apparently the game is for casuals. A lot of people didn't even hit 100. I hit 100 and had, 3 weeks to basically do whatever, nothing Diablo 4 related. I feel like I wasn't playing that much. I mean, let me rephrase that. I feel like my time played wasn't wasted because I was enjoying like leveling and whatever. But I should be able to enjoy whatever I want and not be considered, spineless or not having integrity for something I already paid for. I don't understand this. Like you said so yourself. They are a big business. They sold millions of copies. It was the fastest selling game on whatever. If every person who watches your video so every person that watches this video that doesn't log in tomorrow, let's say 53,000 people just don't log in tomorrow. What about the other millions of couples and people playing on their consoles and PlayStation 5 and people who probably are going to buy the game and see that it's on Twitch still and people are still playing it and their favorite content creator playing it and they still want to play it? I just think it's very dogmatic and it doesn't have to be. I mean, I feel like this opinion is very dogmatic and it doesn't have to be. But a lot of people on the subreddit also share this opinion. The subreddit is filled to the brim with negativity about the patch. Again, if you're unhappy, that's good. But now there's nowhere for people who even like the game to even discuss anything. I mean, I guess you got, maybe not Reddit, maybe I'm sure there's somewhere, maybe Discord, I don't know.
Are you okay with spending that money on an absolute dressed up piece of dog shit that they're constantly having to defend? I personally don't think this game is up to Diablo standards. That's just my opinion. Not saying don't go play it, it's just the way that it is. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Unfortunately, I'm sure a lot of y'all won't like this, but that is the reason that we have an Eternal Realm killing patch the very beginning of the game. It's to make all of us leave and go park our ass in season and show their shareholders they're profitable. Appreciate y'all. Make sure to hit like and subscribe for more content. We'll see you next time.
I think that's an interesting opinion to have. Oh, I like that opinion because it's different, right? Most people are gonna agree and say the same thing over and over and over and over and over, but the opinion is different. I really didn't think about it like that. But again, I have my own goals in the game. Don't really care about if they kill the turnaround or not. How I see it, and then I'm gonna end the video. How I see it, you know, there's progression in the game to be had. There's like an understanding, like you understand, like I played Druid, right? So I played Druid, I learned stuff about the game, I understand how the builds work, I understand how lightning work. I didn't experiment with the other stuff. So given the amount of time that it took me to get from level 1 to level 100, all the videos I watched, the content I watched in between, the stuff I did in between, the talking to people in between, I only had enough time to, you know, clear one character. The highest nightmare dungeon I cleared on that character was like level like nightmare 65, 64. And I was like, okay, I'm good. I did have Tempest War and all that. Druid still has so many different builds to play on top of the Malignant Hearts. And I say all that to say there are still builds to be played with, explored. There's still fun to be had in the game. Like, I don't think too many people were probably gonna reach Nightmare Tier 100 and or kill Uber Lilith. So why not play the game, have fun, make your own build, don't absorb anyone else's opinion, form your own opinions, find your own gear, see where you land, see where the game takes you. Like how games used to be. You know how people always like to bring that up. Games have changed so much. Games are not what they used to be. But people do it to themselves. They absorb tier lists, item tier lists, unique tier lists, this tier list, commentary, reactions non-stop about the game while not playing the game. And then when they go to play the game, their expectations versus reality is just completely warped, and it ruins your experience of the game. Even going to the Diablo 4 subreddit and scrolling, just seeing negativity about the patch will keep you unenthusiastic about the patch, despite there being, you know, new builds to mess with and new means for you to limit test yourself. Again, I don't agree with the patch. I think it was very tone deaf, but I'm still gonna play. And that's the video. Just wanted to react to that. Interesting. Very interesting. Anyways, take care. Tell someone you love and appreciate them. I appreciate you guys to watch, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.